de la naturaleza y todo el proceso de arte que ella lleva es muy importante ahorita en esta situación global con el virus, etcétera, de regresar a lo que pasa dentro de nosotros mismos, de conectar, de confiar en lo que nos dicta nuestra naturaleza interior. Es súper importante reconectarnos con quién somos.
And, you know, I think very much, you know, the reasons why I've gravitated towards working with natural fibers is working with fibers like that, it reminds me that I'm part of the environment. I am not disconnected from the environment. The cotton, the flax, the wool, you know, I'm working with raw hemp right now. It puts me into conversation with the greater world around. And as I am presently, you know, isolating alone, I find it so powerful and so beautiful to remember that these threads, this woven tapestry of life, you know, really connects us all. We're never disconnected.
Oh, how beautiful. You know, your transmission, Rhiannon, and I'm like feeling that peace that you are transmitting. So, Rhiannon dice que ahorita ella está aislada, está ella sola, y gravita mucho ella a trabajar con las fábricas naturales. Por ejemplo, ahorita está trabajando con el hemp, la planta de la planta del hemp, y está trabajando, y cada que trabaja con una fábrica natural, le recuerda que no está desconectada de la naturaleza, que estamos entrelazados y conectados, y es una bellísima, bellísima experiencia.
Yeah, you know, having a lot of time to just really reflect on what, you know, is happening. I think as a weaver, you know, my vision, the way I see the world is just so metaphorically related to warp and weft, you know, the two intersecting threads that we weave with. And living here in a small town, to a degree, it's you know, I feel very, very grateful, very blessed to be here in this environment. I know where my food is coming from. I know where my water is coming from, and the most fundamental levels, you know, of survival, the warp and weft. I see that as like food and like good environment right now. It's in my, you know, just in my isolated state here, I feel so aware of the tapestry of life and the, you know, simple.
It's so beautiful. You know, let me translate that and then I'll ask you something about that. Dice ahorita que está en este lugar. Ojai es precioso, por cierto, y que está aislada, pero también que se siente muy bendecida de donde vive porque sabe de dónde viene todo. Todo está como, se le llama web en inglés, pero es como una telaraña de interconexión. Ella sabe de dónde viene su comida en el pequeño lugar donde vive, dónde viene su comida, su agua, tiene todo lo que necesita y la hace estar súper consciente de lo que está ocurriendo, de las bendiciones que están pasando. So let me ask you something. You know, I used to live in Montecito, Santa Barbara, so I used to go to Ojai so often. I love that place so much. Love. One of my teachers, Baron Katie, actually lives there.
Oh, wonderful.
En Ojai le estoy diciendo a Rhiannon que yo solía vivir en un lugar que se llama Montecito, California, precioso lugar. Iba yo mucho a Ojai. Me encanta Ojai. Una de mis maestras, Baron Katie, vive ahí. But I remember Ojai having this very like out of the world frequency, kind of like Santa Fe and New Mexico, you know, a very magical vibe. Me recuerdo de Ojai tener una frecuencia mágica. Do you encuentras that, you know, weaving your art, haciendo tu arte, and living in such a place that invites you to really commune with nature, y vivir en un lugar que te invita a realmente hacer comunión con la naturaleza, do you find it healing for you and those you serve and love? Do you find that there's a higher frequency? ¿Encuentras que hay una frecuencia más elevada that can heal people, que puede ayudar a sanar a la gente in a way? I want to be cautious with the word healing, right? Quiero tener atención con la palabra de sanación, but that heals the soul. Sana el alma from nature deficit disconnection, de la deficiencia de la naturaleza. Have you find that to be true for you? ¿Has encontrado esto verdadero para ti?
Yes, 100%. You know, I think as artists, it's crucial. It's essential to the essence of who we are and how we move in the world with our sensitivities, you know, the perception of environment, how that influences our work. I find it so powerful to be in a place that resonates with your spirit, that feeds you on a silent level. You know, the visual level, I think, is really important, but it's also the energy of the place. And Ojai here, it's a vortex. It's a very powerful place where people come to heal. You know, I think before I explain more of that, I can let you translate.
Yeah. Dice que sí, para todos los artistas, para el refinamiento del alma, para esta intuición, para esta creatividad es tan importante, no solamente visualmente donde vives, pero también la energía, el lugar, el silencio, la frecuencia que emana de eso es súper sanadora para todos y muy sintonizadora con el arte que crean.
And, you know, I think what moved me here was going through significant change of a relationship a couple years ago. And I was drawn here. I knew very few people, but something said, move to Ojai. It's not quite the city. And this is an opportunity for you to get back on your feet, to figure yourself in and out. And I've been here for 3 years now, having done some of the most intense light and shadow work I've done in my life, which is such a gift, such an opportunity. And really, I think it has everything to do with where you're at.
Dice Rhiannon que para ella se mudó a Ojai como artista por una llamada, terminó una relación y se fue a Ojai para poner sus pies, en pocas palabras, sus pies en la tierra y hacer su trabajo, un trabajo súper intenso que ha hecho por los últimos 3 años de luz y oscuridad. And Rhiannon, you know, I'm such a advocate of doing the work, right? Of doing the inner work to reflect on the outer work. Soy estoy muy enfocada y soy fan de hacer el trabajo interior, del trabajo de la sombra para tomar nuestra luz. Do you know, I have felt in your art, yo siento en tu arte that work that you've done, el trabajo que has hecho. You know, when I wear your wearable woven art, cuando yo me visto con tu arte, con tus bellísimos sacos, etcétera, I feel the river, siento el río. I feel the stones, amo las rocas, and something I admire of you. Y algo que admiro de ti is, well, aesthetically, you have an incredible taste for aesthetics and art and nature and forms, right? Tienes un increíble don para la estética, la naturaleza, la forma de la roca. Siento en tu arte la naturaleza. So, how would you put into words? ¿Cómo pondrías en palabras? That, like, it's for me, you are such in a romance with Mother Nature, with the Pachamama. Para mí estás en tanta romance con la naturaleza, con la Pachamama, that how would you, if this was a romance between you and nature, si esto fuera un romance, which is, right, entre tú y la naturaleza, how would you describe it? ¿Cómo lo describirías? Because I think that there we can find a lot of what is behind your art, porque sé que ahí vamos a poder encontrar mucho más de la energía que está en tu arte.
Well, I think what comes to mind very quickly, you know, is everything is sacred, moving in a very sacred manner all the way around. And I view the work as a weaver. You know, weavers across the board in mythology, they weave magic. There's stories, there's legends, there's, you know, origin tales woven into the work. Something I'm really aspiring to do with my work is to create a vibration, is to uplift people you know, when they receive my work, I want people to really be cloaked in beauty. I want them to feel good, you know, in something that I'm creating. And the romance between nature here, you know, and I mean, really, Ojai, California, as well as New Mexico, it's such a love story. It's raw, it's vulnerable, it's oh, there's heat to it, you know, there's space to it. I'm just in constant communion, you know, with the medicine of the earth, and I really aspire to share that in the objects of art that I create.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's what I feel when I wear your art. You know, it's I feel like I'm wearing a mountain. I honestly do. You know, I love that. So let me translate that. So, sí dice Rhiannon que lo que ella hace, lo que su conexión con la naturaleza, y les recomiendo que por favor vean su arte, que la sigan en Instagram, porque van a sentir la frecuencia de esta mujer, más allá de lo que yo les pueda decir. Ella está en una comunión, ve la naturaleza, cada proceso como sagrado. La vida es sagrada y todo ella se acerca a su arte, a la naturaleza, todo como algo sagrado. Y entonces el romance que tiene con la naturaleza es emocionante, excitante, es sagrado, a veces con mucho calor, es algo que la llena, y a través de ese romance ella crea su arte y ella tiene la intención de que la gente que use su arte o que decore con su arte se cubran de belleza, se cubran de lo sagrado y eleven esa frecuencia a prácticamente lo sagrado y lo divino. Wow, Rhiannon, you know, it's so, you know, you have a frequency that really transcends words, you know, and I encourage people really to follow you on Instagram, because it's truly like a weaver. You weave the stories in Instagram. I go and, you know, pay visit to your Instagram, not like I'm going to check social media out. I'm actually going there for like this frequency of nature, this weaving that you are doing, this story of like, I'm looking forward to what is she going to weave now? What next story is coming? What tapestry, right? When we fell in love, I saw you did that, the beautiful hang wall. I was like, just the stories, it just transports me. It's not only a hanging piece or only a wearable art. It has the story of the rock, of the stories of our ancestors, the story of our future generations, what they will inherit. And I'll remember to translate myself too, but I'll translate all of these after you answer. But so if you were to leave a message of hope for these times as a weaver, for all of our audience in Latin America that are listening to us, and actually all over the world, because they listen to us all over the place, from the artist's heart in you to the artist's heart of everyone that will listen, what would be the blessing you will leave them with?
Be proud of who you are. Be proud of your heritage. Be proud of your ancestors that have come before you. You know, you're a fairy tale they all prayed and hoped for. And I think the more that we begin to honor our pasts and live with those, you know, those blessings of our ancestors, we feel full within ourselves. There's so much more space within our hearts, within our beings to look forward. And you know, I think what I have really just been surrounding myself with, you know, in this tender moment of uncertainty is like so much self-love and gratitude, and just remembering like how precious we are, how precious every single human being is in this moment, and loving yourself and just feeling really proud of who you are.
What a beautiful blessing. Entonces le decía yo a Rhiannon, nos dio una bendición que en su arte les recomiendo que la sigan, porque ella teje historias, teje tiempos, teje desde los ancestros, el presente, la naturaleza, en todo su arte. Es una belleza, se los recomiendo que lo vean. Y le pedí una bendición para nosotros. ¿Qué nos diría desde su corazón artista, el corazón artista de todos nosotros? Y nos dice: quiere que estés orgulloso de ti. Debes de estar orgulloso de ti, de tus ancestros, de tu herencia, de dónde vienes, de quién eres.